Good morning, beautiful souls. Have you ever sat in silence and heard the ticking of a clock? Not just with your ears, but with your heart? That sound, that gentle, rhythmic ticking, it's not just time passing, it's your life, gently reminding you that it waits for no one. We often treat time as if it's infinite, like the sunrise will wait for us to be ready to watch it, like dreams will sit patiently while we're busy fearing failure. But time is not a guest that stays. It visits, it blesses, and then it moves on. You see, we save money, we store gold, we build empires. But we squander hours, minutes, and sometimes years on things that do not nurture our spirit. People who do not value our presence, and fears that do not deserve our focus. Let me ask you, how many times have you said someday I'll speak up, someday I'll chase that dream, someday I'll walk away from what hurts. But what if that someday never comes? What if today was your last chance? Your time is your most precious gift, and no one, not even those who love you, can live it for you. There is a silent strength in walking away from places that steal your light. There is bravery in saying a no to things that don't deserve your yes. There is wisdom in realizing that it's not about having time, it's about making time for joy, for peace, for love, for you. Don't wait for the world to give you permission to live. Don't shrink to fit spaces where your soul feels suffocated. Be the person who respects their time so deeply that others learn to do the same. Because your time is not just valuable, it is sacred. And you, dear heart, are worthy of spending it on a life that feels like home. You can lose wealth and earn it back. You can break hearts and with grace, mend them over time. You can fall and you can rise again. But the moment that just passed, it never comes back. Time is the only currency we spend without even realizing it. We spend it in conversations that drain us. We spend it in waiting rooms of people's opinions. We spend it in regrets about yesterday and in fears about a tomorrow that hasn't even arrived. And yet, we rarely ask ourselves, was it worth it? No matter how rich you become, you cannot bribe time to pause. No matter how powerful you are, you cannot command the clock to wait for you to heal, to learn, to begin. Time doesn't take sides. It doesn't favor the joyful or the broken. It moves with the same rhythm for all of us, steady, silent, unstoppable. The truth is, we live like we have centuries ahead of us, but all we really have is this breath, this heartbeat, this moment. We chase everything, approval, perfection, control. But in doing so, we often miss the most important chase of all, the chase for presence in the now, presence in the fleeting beauty of ordinary moments. Presence in the eyes of those we love. Presence in our own story, unfolding 1 second at a time. And maybe, just maybe, you don't truly understand time until you've sat with pain, real pain, the kind that silences rooms, the kind that echoes louder than any applause ever could. The kind that teaches you how slowly a minute can move, and how quickly life can change in just one. Pain is a teacher we never invite, yet it walks into our lives unannounced. And with hands both fierce and gentle, it pulls back the curtain on all the things we took for granted. When you're lying in a hospital bed or sitting beside someone who may not see another sunrise, when your heart is shattered into pieces you don't recognize anymore, suddenly the little things become loud. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of laughter down the hallway, the way someone holds your hand without words. The seconds stretch, not because they are long, but because you finally feel them. Pain slows you down, not to punish you, but to awaken you. To show you that time is not measured by clocks, but by presence, by emotion. By how deeply you live that moment. Even if it hurt, they will hand you labels. They will write headlines about your failures before they ever learn your name. They will try to fit your life into chapters they understand, pages they approve of, endings they expect. But you hold the pen. You are not the roles they gave you, not the scars you carry. Not the chapter you got stuck in when the world walked away. You are the author, and your story is still unfolding, sentence by sentence, breath by breath. You get to decide if the heartbreak was the end or the beginning. You get to choose whether the silence becomes your prison or your peace. And I know, sometimes the ink smudges, sometimes you don't know what to write next. You sit staring at a blank page, wishing someone else would take over, wishing the pain would write itself away. But it is in those moments, the ones where your hands tremble over the page, that the most powerful words are born. You don't have to write a perfect story, you just have to write a true one. one that belongs to you. One that doesn't apologize for being messy, for being real, for being yours, you see. The world reflects what you believe you're worth. And if you treat your time like it's endless, like it's disposable, like it's meant to be given away freely to everyone but yourself, they will believe that too. People don't always intend to be careless with you, but if you don't draw the lines, they'll color outside them. You'll find yourself answering calls that drain you, showing up in rooms where you are unseen, saying yes, when every part of you is whispering no. And then one day, you'll look in the mirror and wonder, where did the hours go? Where did I go? You see, valuing your time is not selfish, it is sacred. It is saying, my presence is a gift, my energy is not infinite, my heart is not a doormat. You teach people how to treat your time by how you treat it first. So sit with yourself, ask what truly matters, and have the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't honor your minutes, your boundaries, your peace. Because if you don't guard your time, the world will spend it for you on noise, on nonsense, on everything that dims your light, that it doesn't knock gently at your door. It doesn't ask if your heart has healed or if your fear has passed or if you've gathered enough courage to begin. Time moves quietly, unapologetically, like waves that never ask the shore if it's ready to be kissed. And still we wait. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, the perfect version of ourselves we think we need to become before we take the first step. But life isn't a rehearsed performance. It is a raw, unfiltered dance of uncertainty. And if you're waiting for fear to leave the room, you'll miss the music. Because time won't slow down just because you're unsure. It won't pause while you overthink or hold still while you doubt your own worth. It keeps moving, with or without you. And one day you'll realize it was never about being ready. It was about being willing. Willing to show up, afraid but present. Willing to try, imperfect but alive. Willing to say yes to a moment that may never return. Because if you keep waiting for the light to turn green, you might never leave the starting line. There are places that feed your mind. There are people who entertain your days. But only a few moments, a few souls, a few spaces in this vast, rushing world make your heart to exhale. And that is where you belong. Not in rooms that clap for your mask but ignore your truth. Not in conversations where you shrink to be understood. Not in places that demand your presence but don't deserve your spirit. We chase timelines, goals, and approval like they are gold, forgetting that peace is the real treasure. Forgetting that time spent in chaos, even if it looks successful, can starve your soul slowly, silent. But when you invest your time in the warmth of authenticity, in the arms of people who speak your language without words, in quiet mornings where your heartbeat finally matches the rhythm of life, that's when you feel it. Home. Not made of walls and ceilings, but of energy and alignment. Your soul knows. It always has. You feel it in the calm that wraps around you when you're where you're meant to be, where you're not performing or pleasing, just being. So choose that. Not the loudest room, not the most crowded stage, but the soft corner where your spirit is safe, where your laughter is real, and your silence is understood. Because time is not just to be spent. It is to be planted in places that nourish you, so that when you look back, you don't just see how far you've come, you see how fully you lived. So if you take nothing else from this moment, take this. Your time is not just a ticking clock. It is your life unfolding, a sacred story only you can write. Don't waste it waiting to be ready. Don't spend it in places where your spirit is unseen. Don't give it to people who only notice your silence when you stop showing up. You are not here to just pass the time, you are here to live it, to rise with it, to dance in the chaos, to sit in the quiet, to choose every single day where your minutes go. And may they go to healing that doesn't rush, to love that doesn't ask you to shrink, to dreams that scare you and call you forward, to spaces where your soul feels like home. Because time won't wait, but you still have it now. And that makes this moment the most valuable thing you'll ever hold. So hold it close, spend it well, and live a life that even in silence speaks, thank you.